Yes, it's true. I am not Iron Man. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is The Love and Odd. Today I'm going to be doing a review of SH Figuarts Iron Man The Infinity War Saga. Basically, this is just the Avengers. This is basically from the Avengers 2012. Am I right? Am I correct? I'm pretty sure. There's four different versions of this figure. There's the Infinity Saga, there's the Avengers one. We're not going to talk about those. There's other ones, I'm pretty sure. But the one I want to be talking about is this one. I love the clunkiness. It's not perfect. I do have a lot of things to say. That's the truth. And if you want your honest truth about a figure, this is the right video for you. So I have a lot of things to say, but for right now, let's just look at the accessories and the package, because a lot to me this is a lot to look at. So the package looks fine, looks simple. You can see the Avenger logo, but it's so big you could just barely even notice because the freaking windows. But the window, oh, so freaking just see. That is in my freaking store on my shelf. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I was waiting for doing this video. Anyways, so this is a fine. I wish you could see the A more better, but whatever. Then you see a little picture, and then you see the Infinity Saga. So not bad. Pretty cool. And then you see Iron Man Mark 6, the Infinity Saga, SH Figuarts. And then again with Iron Man back here. And then we have him in a couple of poses, which not a lot of poses. We'll talk about the poses and everything about that later. But nice little window right there, unless if anyone doesn't want to take their figure out of the package. But what kind of person are you if you don't want to take your toy out of the package? Come on now. And with some SH Figuarts, they either give you the paper instructions or they just put it in the box. I get annoyed. I'd rather get the paper instructions so you don't have to open this side or whatever. Who cares? And now, looking at this, to me, if you bought an Iron Man figure from SH Figuarts, this is a little to you. This is not a lot. To me, this is my first SH Figuarts Iron Man. I've never got this many accessories. Even with the Marvel Legends, I used to have like a Diamond Selector or Marvel Legends, whatever. But the point is, this is probably the best amount of accessories you could get for an Iron Man. And this one was like at the time I got it for $99. Sometimes the price goes down on 70 or 80 bucks on Amazon. You could also get it at Big Bad Toy Store. I'm pretty sure any other companies you could probably find. I don't know, but that's where I bought mine from Amazon. So not even sponsored. That's just where I fucking bought it. They don't pay me shit. Anyways, this a lot of stuff. So let's just take a look at the accessories before we take a look at the figure. So, all right, there we go. Now, I know what you might think. Why didn't you get the Mayfix, or why didn't you get the Mayfix or another SH Figuarts? This, I have, it's perfect. I have some good things and bad things, but the things is, I like the amount of accessories I am perfectly fine with. So let's look at that. Let's look at the hands. Now, let's look at the hands. So right now you have a karate chop hands, little karate chop hands, not bad. So, for some reason, I feel like it's lazy. They give you a little thing, like panels or whatever for his hands, but you have to switch them out. Which isn't this a billion or $1 million company? Come on now. What are you doing, Tomash Nations or SH? What's the company who owns SH Figure? There's too many people that owns and has whatever. There's too many things on that box that are too hard to remember. I don't care. Right now, I'm just talking about the laziness and giving you my honest opinion about this figure and reviews. Because again, I'm giving you my honest opinion, and for some reason they don't even give you like three extra pairs of these. For all totals of the hands, you were supposed to get 6, but they just don't get you nothing. They just only give you two. But paint job wise, looks pretty good. I'm simply fine with this. I don't know if this was always supposed to be on. I know sometimes it's supposed to be off, but if you want to make him look like he's about to fight someone, sure, or that's fine. I mean, I'm really not gonna use this hand, but it's there. It's pretty good. It's pretty good use maybe. Now, here are his other hands. His open palm hands looks pretty good. Like I said, nice paint job, really well fine details on the hands. So I give them that. Again, I've always liked their paint jobs. Again, bit off with this one, but we will talk about that. But the paint jobs for the hands, pretty well done. Looks very well done. And man, I love that. Nothing else to say except the one that everyone's most likely gonna use, his effect hands. I like to call this his effect hands. You can use any effect with them. So of course they're just called effect hands to me. And you have looks very unpleasant. Holy shit. Looks like he had a knife just stabbed through his hand. Holy crap, Iron Man. Are you okay? Probably Magneto threw a kitchen knife. I don't know. Something got to him, but you could have different types of effects on his hands. We will look at that later, but for right now, looks pretty good. And another part, his little panels. These panels are for his back of the calves. So these are for his legs. When he flies, you will see some little details in the suit later on. So we're gonna switch those out. Now, these, I don't know if I want to switch them out on camera because they're easy, but they're pretty difficult to put on. When I tested these out, I've heard many people said they broken, like their peg broken on them, and I was scared to even try them out. Luckily, mine didn't even break, so I am gonna give you my honest opinion and just make sure if you want to get this figure, look out and be careful because again, very, very worried about my copy, but my copy was fine. So this is just his little rockets from his arms, as you see coming out from that one scene in Avengers 2012. I'm pretty sure when they were like meeting Captain America and Iron Man the first time when they were finding Loki. Yeah, I remember. Isn't it weird people are gonna remember Iron Man nowadays? Kids are gonna remember like Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, while adults and teenagers are gonna remember Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. I remember Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder, but anyway, so this looks pretty cool. Now, moving on, you have other cool little effects. You have some little rockets, little tiny little rockets. Look at those, very tiny. You could barely see them. Holy shit! But little details. They're not supposed to be that big. They're supposed to be little tiny ones. I remember how they were in the movie. But wow, little details. I don't know. Just be careful you don't try to snap those off. I don't know. Nothing bad has happened to mine. But paint looks pretty sharp. It looks pretty clean. Nothing much to say. Now these parts, these are especially nothing else but specifically his laser hands, or yeah, his laser beam, whatever. So I forgot what they're called. I know each of his powers, his little power effects, they would do something else. Like if you show me something, an image from the comics, I would remember. But then in the movies, they're kind of just blends in together. They just look like he's blasting just power effects or whatever. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is little laser beams right here where you could shoot. Was it a repel? No, never mind. Now, here are the little lasers I was talking about. Just like that one scene where he was just fixing up in the shield plane or whatever. Again, it's been a while, but I remember a few of the details. We're not here to talk about the comics. We're here to talk about the movies. So, anyways, looks pretty good with his little lasers. Look at that. Kind of looks like a candy corn. Kinda. It looks pretty good. Don't get me wrong. We're gonna look at one. It looks really good. So right here you have pink. You have a little bit of white. Then it goes to a bit pink. then yellow right here, and then a bit orange, and then red up top. I don't know, it's little, looks very subtle. Right now, you probably can't see in the light, but far away, looks pretty good to me. And when you look close in person, you will see yourself. So, fine details, very simple, and I'm okay with that. Oh crap, I forgot about these little, no, I'm just kidding. I didn't forget about these. I wanted to save these for, there we go. More little panels for when he flies. This is just goes on his shoulders. We'll take a look at that later. Now, everything looks good, but we will save the last thing that's very negative about what he doesn't come with. You will get what you're gonna know what I'm gonna talk about. Now, here we have his little, I'm pretty sure they're just, I think, are they rockets or guns? I'm pretty sure they shoot out just normal bullets, right? I can't remember, but goes on the shoulders, looks pretty good. Now these goes on his feet, nothing else, only on his feet. They look pretty well done. I love the simple, again, this is all new to me, so I'm very, very well pleased, and this is very simple. So little nice clear yellow, and then over here in the middle just a bit clear simple, and then right here just nice and white, and it just shows off the effects. Kind of looks like a smoke, if it kind of looks a bit smoky, but yeah, they look pretty good. Now I've heard that both of them, it says left and right on each foot. Mine doesn't really show anything, so you could just put it on any feet, so it doesn't really matter. And more specials, more little special effects. So pretty cool special effects. That's not the point. Well, they're more special effects because they're special and they're effects, not special effects like in movies. That's you get what I mean. Anyways, my audience is not dumb. All right, I just hope some people understand. I just fumble with my words. Who cares? The point is, some repulsor beams, really good, right? I hope I got that right. Again, sometimes in the movies they look very different than what they look like in the comics, but whatever. That's not the point. The point is, they look very well done. Looks pretty good. I feel like it's too pointy, too sharp. I feel like they should have added more little effects like this around the area, but all right, fine, well paint job. Looks pretty well done. Very good. But again, I really wish that they added more extra details around here. Which again, those look good, but something like this, where it just keeps going and going. But these are just for when he flies, so this is just only where he flies. But they also look pretty good. A bit sharp. Be careful when you put them on, because anytime you try to put them on and connect them, very freaking sharp. So yeah, very well done. Like the paint job, very, very beautiful. Again, all the details on the on everything looks very well sharpened. I hope. I don't know. Nothing looks messed up for now. And of course, last but not least, his more longer repulse blast. I mean, nothing else to say. It's just a longer version. Look at this. It's just a longer version of this. Nothing really special. Again, it looks pretty good, but wish they added more little effects like this around over here, just like what they did right here. But that's not the point. The point is, let's organize everything. Have Iron Man right here, because we're gonna look at Iron Man and talk about him, because again, ups, downs, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. I do like him. Do I love him? He's not the worst thing ever. I gotta be honest. He's not the worst thing ever. And since this is my first SH Figuarts Iron Man, this was basically all new to me. So, my honest opinion, I think he is pretty well executed, but with a few parts. So we're gonna talk about that. Now, first, you might be thinking to yourself, why not the end game? Why not something new? Well, because I'm pretty sure this is new, but this is like a reissue. Yeah, this is a reissue that came out last year, but this is now 2026. This is all new to me. I love it, but I kind of have some gripes with it, tiny gripes with it. But again, I love the clunkiness of the first Iron Man suit, and they continue on, and then of course the Mark 6 happened, and then later on down the line they just kind of look more CGI heavy effect, while in the earlier movies they were kind of using practical effects. But the nanotech, I thought, yeah, that's cool, that's fine, but it looks so awkward. This looks so, I mean, on an action figure looks good, but in movie form looks eh. But this action figure wise looks pretty good. Movie wise looks pretty good as well. So that's my positive. That's why I wanted to get this. So that's my number one. Number two, he paint jobs, everything. Again, he came with a lot of stuff included. I did not know he was gonna come with a lot of stuff. So that was my second thing. He came with a lot of stuff. That's my positive. My third thing, decent poses. We will talk about that. That's for later. I'm gonna save that for later. But my fourth, paint job looks beautiful, looks well done. But I do have some gripes and some ifs because again, you look closely, he looks so beautiful and very crisp, very just wonderful to look at. He just pops on the shelf. But then there's some areas on his suit that have like little scratch marks, like little gray scratch marks, even on his feet. And I don't know if y'all guys will be able to see that, but little marks like that, scratch. And I don't think my figure was like that, unless he is supposed to look like that. Because again, there's some little scratch marks, like silver scratch marks on here, and I don't know if that's intentional. But if so, I don't care if this gets a bit scratched up, because if it does get little, like, see here, little gray pieces, I'm fine with that, because it shows out brings it more to life. I hope that understand. I hope you guys understand. Like, it shows he's worn that suit more. He looks like he's been through a lot. It's not too clean. It's clean, but not too clean, because you will see the dents and cracks after his battles. That's what I like about it. That's what brings it to life. So it looks well done, beautiful. Again, paint job. We're gonna talk about that. Next thing, paint job. Crisp at few parts. On the feet looks a bit bright. On the chest area on the ab area looks a bit different. Let me just put it, because there's some areas on the feet looks a bit different. On his hands it looks a bit different. What the heck? Yeah, sorry, a bit dust. My bad. Anyways, so you will see a few parts, even on the neck, I'm pretty sure it looks a bit different with the paint job, and on the little panels right here. But I don't know if it's supposed to look like that. But if so, yeah, what were y'all guys doing at the when y'all guys were making this? What were y'all doing? Like, is it that hard to find different paints? Because I don't know what the material is. Diecast, right? Is that the material diecast? I don't know. I don't know what the Iron Man is made out of, but it feels pretty good. Looks pretty good. Moves very well and decent. But there are some, like, when you scratch on the surface, you'll see like the little problems. The gold looks very well done. I love the gold. In the Avengers 2012, he did use two different types of suits. One was earlier in the movie where it was almost getting destroyed, and then at the end he switched out with the new suit when he jumped off the building after he was escaping from Loki. So this, I'm pretty sure that's the new suit. This one is where he was at the end of the movie. So looks very good, very beautiful. Some of the Iron Man's, oh crap. Wait. Crap, I dropped. Yep. Y'all guys better be careful. I dropped a piece. Sorry. I dropped a piece on the shoulders. You better be careful, because it's very, very sensitive. Holy crap. But anyways, I thought I lost that. You better be careful with that. So, in some SH Figuarts of Iron Man, they would make his eyes look dead. It would either be black or gray, and it would look like he's dead, or it look like he has no lights on, or it look like no one was in the suit. But sometimes they would either make his eyes blue or white. And in promos, it looked like it was gray and or black, or I don't know. I was a bit worried because I was like, oh, I wanted to make it look like he's alive in the suit, like the suit is on. But lucky enough, I'm happy to say he looks very beautiful. Again, he does look odd. Like I said, there are some paint jobs where it looks beautiful, it looks crisp. But when you look at the shininess, it looks very beautiful. Nice, nice. I know, sexy, turns me on. Let's get moving on. That's not the point. The point is my honest opinion. Because look at this. This is a beautiful looking Iron Man. But at the same time, the paint job, you could see the difference of the looks. And a few scratch marks when you move him around. I'm pretty sure you see that. But like I said, it makes him look like he's more alive in the suit. But at the same time, worried about that. But like I said, I'm fine with that. But his suit does look a bit odd. Now, pose-wise, let's look at the posability. So, head-wise, since it's on a ball, right? Yeah, it's on a little peg, but yeah, it's on a little ball peg. I'm pretty sure this is on a dumbbell joint. Anyways, I'm trying to take this off, but it's not letting me. Anyways, so moves pretty good, very well done. But I wish with his neck, I don't know. Sometimes his neck looks a bit too short. It looks a bit too short at some angles, but that's if you have it angled very right. Like, you see how it looks like this, how it looks like that. Looks a bit weird. But then you have it fixed up and straight. There we go. Yeah. So it looks good. Now, I want to look at the articulations. So up and down on the neck. Since the neck is basically separate, you could basically move up and down and kind of move it side to side without moving the head. But the head, like I said, you can move it. So, arms, you could open very wide. The fuck am I even saying? The arms open very wide, and you could either have them popped out like this, because you could have the arms popped out, which I don't think he ever had that in the movie like that, but it looks a bit weird, but it helps out with the articulation. I'm gonna tell you why. And yeah, because sometimes, look, I'm just gonna leave it like this, leave it like that, and you can see you kind of get like a butterfly swivel. You do have a butterfly swivel, side to side, all right? But then when you move, when you pop this out and leave it like that, you get more of a butterfly swivel. You get more articulations, and you get more movement. So you could just move it around. Well, if you have it locked like this, you basically kind of the same thing, but you really don't get a lot. But with this, yeah, moves more, a bit smooth, and you have more space, and you don't have to scratch up your toy if you don't want yours to be scratched up. Now, swivel, pretty good. Oh, again, we're going to talk about that. Holy crap, that's a negative. So swivel moves pretty well. I'm going to save up why I just told you about the negative part, because the shoulder pads, that's going to be later. I'm going to talk to you guys about that. Now, arms, look at that. Sometimes I'm okay with figures that have decent arm range like this, and I'm fine with that, because some figures don't need to move their arms like that, but people want that, and that's fine. Me, I'm simple enough that some characters don't have to, but this, beautiful, well done, looks and moves smooth. Look at that. It looks and moves pretty smooth. Look at that. I love it. Now, it does look a bit weird when you have it like that. I don't know if his arms ever look like that, but his shoulders, you could see, like, well, not his shoulders, his freaking, it just looks weird. You could also pop it off. Yeah, if you want to, which I would recommend it. I would talk to y'all guys why. You gotta remove it from the back, but yeah, it looks just, I don't know, it looks a bit odd, but I'm fine with it. He moves well enough. And around the hands, it's okay. So some people are not gonna like this. He has just a ball. Just a ball. Just nothing but ball. Because he's Iron Man. But on the real point, on the real subject, it's just a ball. No movement. If it was like a side, if it was a hinge, a sideways hinge, you could have moved it because he would have done a lot with this hinge because you could have moved it up or down or sideways, whatever. But with this, it's just a ball, which it helps out with some movements of the hands. As you see, he has his fist hands on, so you're not gonna have a lot of articulations with these hands. It just moves like that. You can move it if you like, but it's not gonna do nothing. See? So it moves like that. But with other hands, if he had that on this, it would not move, which I will show you guys right now after we're done with articulations. Because again, he's good at some points, but kind of at others. So, like I said, yeah. This hint. Oh, gee. Okay, I'm just gonna have. My goodness, he's like he's falling apart, just like in Iron Man 3. Holy crap. Okay, so he has extra details. If y'all like to look at that before we continue. I love that they added extra details. I thought they might be lazy and just added black or just silver paint and call it a day. No, they actually added details. You can see little wire works, and I love that. Very well done. But I'm going to move that to the side right now, since we are going to look at the pose and stuff later with more accessories. So, he stands straight like this, but forward, not a lot, but back, yes, pretty decent, because since he is Iron Man, he will fly like this, and he moves very well done like that. But again, looking down, looks pretty, I don't know, you could probably get some angles, but I don't know. But I know that's probably going to be a bit of a bit of annoying part for some people. Now this part, you'll see there's a little mechanism in here. You'll see they added some extra parts, some extra joints, but guess what? It doesn't even do shit. I mean, it moves, which, look, I'm happy that you either want it to move or don't want it to move, and I'm happy it moves. But at the same time, what the fuck? You see here, they added an extra part of a joint right here. They could probably see right here a little bit. And it was supposed to, it's like with the Spider-Mans, with the way they have their little underwear, their underwears. I would just call them underwears, but the crotch area. And they always added that. They even added with the Deadpools. And sometimes they worked with certain characters, like with Spider-Man. But when it comes to the Iron Man or the Deadpool, really, not really. It doesn't really fix anything. I mean, not even, you can move side to side a bit, but really not that much. But anyways, let's continue on. Drop down legs. Some people would not like this. Some people are gonna hate drop down legs. Me, I don't go crazy for drop down legs, but this, to me, this is important. This is very important for me because you would need drop down legs. This is very important. So if you don't want to scratch up your figure, you could either have like this and scratch it up, or have drop downs and have him just fly around. You could obviously have it like that, have him flying. This is just a little practice, of what I'm going to show you. And there you go. So the drop downs will help, but if you just show the back, it looks very ugly. But again, I know some people. Oh, sorry, Iron Man. I know you died, but you had to come back for more money in Doomsday. But relax, all right. So you see there, drop downs, pretty well done. Again, I'm not a fan of drop downs, but I'm happy that they added for this Iron Man figure. As I'm pretty sure for some Iron Man figures, because you will need that. So that's also needed. Another extra detail, they added a little extra little mechanism in here, if you want to call that. See here with his, he can't really stand. He can't freaking stand. I'm gonna have him stand straight. Have him stand straight. Look very tough. Kind of like that. Okay. See, he kind of stands. Okay, we're perfectly fine like that. I did not expect that. But he stands a bit cricket. Yeah. But the way you want to have him stand straight perfectly is this. Around the thighs, we're going to have to move this. Around the thighs, you will see this little area. You could move it. You could move it forward or back, which you have a lot of space. A lot of space, so this is good. Side to side, forward and back, side to side, forward and back. Again, you have a lot of space and it moves very well. Side to side, forward and back. So I was a bit worried, how are you going to stand this? Because I thought you would be able to like stand this figure on its own with like a little swivel, not swivel, an ankle pivot. But no, you actually have to have him stand like that. Yeah. So yeah, he's quite quite a clunky character to move, because with all the parts and pieces that he has on to switch around on, and some just fall off, which again, wow. Now with his legs, double and double, so pretty good. Not single jointed, double jointed, very well. And you can move this back flap right here. You can move this flap right here. So just in case you want to have his feet move down or up. And another thing with his toes, because I want to talk about his toes. Let's talk about Iron Man's toes. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna talk about. Oh, Quentin Tarantino! I hear him knocking on the door. He's getting us excited. Now let's talk about Iron Man's toes. So you see here, this is how his toe is. This is how it is. And then if you move it down all the way, yeah, it looks weird. So if you have it up like this, that's all the space you get. But then if you move it down, and it keeps going. Look at that. I don't want to break it, but I guess it goes like that. But yeah. Anyways, so that's like that. But I'm not gonna. I have no reason to move it like that. But if you want to, be my guest. But yeah, that's something. Now we have a lot to look at. Holy shit, there's a lot to look at. I want to look at his. We're gonna have to move these and move this and move this. Now let's see, I want to choose some stuff that y'all guys might want to see. Well, it's gonna be everything, I know it, but let's take a look. Oh, again, be careful when you put this on, because when you try to put it, I'd rather, if I were you, put on his hand first and then put this, because it hurts when you have it connected. Or when you're trying to connect it, it's... Alright. So, for right now, all right. Yeah, this, to make it quick, to show most of some of the accessories he has on. So you see here, he can fly. Of course, he's Iron Man. So with his little boots, looks very well done. Again, he looks badass. He doesn't have all of his accessories since I am going to switch it out. You see his little rocket right here. His rocket for his hand. That's not even a rocket at that point. But of course, he just looks. He looks good. He looks good. Now let's move on. Take this part off. Move these parts to the side. And I hope I'm not boring y'all guys, because again, I want to look at every single thing and show y'all guys and give you my honest opinion and details. There we go. This looks, oh, there we go. This looks beautiful. Now this looks cool. Look at that. Pew pew pew. But that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is he looks freaking cool. So I love the way he looks. I don't know how am I gonna pose him up, but again, there's a lot of ideas. But that's what I'm excited for. Now, I want to put on his little rockets. These move a bit. These are so weird to move. Sorry, there's a lot to look at, and some of the pieces it will fit on, but it doesn't want to go on where it's supposed to. Okay, there we freaking go. Holy crap. Alright, there's one side. Sorry. There's the other. Alright. So there we go. Right now, you have his rockets and his other little guns that he has on. And if you want to pop this out, and if you look closely, right here, it shows left or right. So make sure, do not worry if you think you're going to get them mixed up. And remember how I say you can move this? Take that off so you can have enough space. All right, there we go. So there's a lot to look at and a lot of stuff to look at, and I'm focused too hard on this because every single little crap, I'm just gonna put on one thing. Yeah, there we go. So he has his laser and he has his little rockets. Again, very cool. He looks a bit wonky because I'm just posing him around because I want to make sure to look at every single thing on him. And another thing that I do have a negative thing to say about, he doesn't come with a flight stand. What? He's Iron Man and he doesn't come with a flight stand. This is, okay. So, let's take a look in the back. Right here, you have little panels right here. You could just move on. Pop those off. Again, they will show you left or right, so no worries. Move this. All right, so one last pose, because you could move those panels. You see extra details right there. Have him flying around, maybe shooting Loki, maybe shooting Thanos. I know we're not at that point at that movie yet, but technically, who cares? So, and these, yeah, no, these aren't the ones. These are the ones that stick out. So, one more thing that I do have, I'm pretty sure, no, I didn't say. You don't get a stand, like I said. No stand, which sucks, again. How? I dropped it again. How the hell does Iron Man not get a freaking stand? But, here you go. Iron Man flying. Looks pretty good. Now, wish, like I said, he doesn't even get one single freaking thing. He gets everything else, but not a single stand. Even though he's Iron Man. So, I gotta do it myself. There we go. So, now he looks freaking cool. To side. Now he looks like a badass. So, I know that was a lot to look at. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But, here we go. He looks wonderful. So, I do have some gripes, some ups and downs. But, do I recommend this for kids? Yes. But at the same time, for parents, I would warn you, there's a lot of parts to look at for little kids. So, I don't know about that. But for teens and adults, y'all guys will love this. Men and women, boys and girls, they will love this if you're a big Iron Man fan. I will give this, though, I'm going to be honest, a 8. Just an 8. I look, I know sometimes, or maybe a 7, maybe a 7.9, 8. I want to say an 8 out of 10, yeah. An 8 out of 10, yes. Yes, an 8 out of 10. Is it the best Iron Man figure? To me, this is better than any Marvel Legends. Is it the best out of probably Mesco or Mayfix? Probably not, but what you get and what your money's worth, I'm pretty happy and fine with this. Again, looks wonderful. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this. I hope y'all guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, a wonderful morning, a wonderful afternoon, wherever y'all are in this big, crazy world. And I'll see y'all guys another time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful day. And I'll see y'all guys in the future with more videos and other crap, or I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I have to review, but that's the point. Anyway, bye.